Well, when we talk about bipartisan bills at the state capitol, at least in the last few years, there's a fair chance it was bipartisan because one Republican signed on, State Senator Kevin Priola. Today, he is now Democratic State Senator Kevin Priola. He switched parties overnight. And that means we need to go reset our counter because it had been 3 days since we last talked about a November election story in August, but only because we haven't had a show since we last talked about it on Friday. So let's reset our counter back to zero. Priola's switch to Democrat might be the thing that keeps Republicans from regaining control of the state Senate even after the November election. And based on his statement, that was his goal.
Knocked on tens of thousands of doors.
State Senator Kevin Priola is now a Democrat. In a two-page statement he released this morning, he wrote, "Even if there will continue to be issues that I disagree with the Democratic Party on, there is too much at stake right now for Republicans to be in charge." With Priola's party switch, Democrats have a 21-14 edge over Republicans in the state Senate. You need 18 to be the party in power. Half of the Senate is up for re-election in November, and without getting into too much wonky detail, there are probably 7 races that will be close on Election Day. Now, with Priola's switch, Republicans will need to win 5 to regain power.
Everything you see Kevin do now, you have to view through the lens of what would a self-serving politician do?
You might say Republican State Representative Colin Larson is ticked off.
Never thought that he would actually do something so cowardly and self-serving.
Priola said he did it because he cannot continue to be part of a political party that is okay with a violent attempt to overturn a free and fair election. Coloradans cannot afford for their leaders to give credence to election conspiracies and climate denialism, he wrote. Larson points out that the far-right Republicans, like Ron Hanks and Tina Peters, lost in the Republican primaries for Senate and Secretary of State.
Had he issued that letter on January 7th of 2021, had he issued that letter after a Ron Hanks or a Tina Peters win in the primaries this summer, then I might have believed what he was saying, that this was coming from a genuine place.
The Colorado Democratic Party put out a statement today giving Priola a warm welcome with open arms. Hang on, let's go back to Priola's statement. My pro-life position, school choice, and pro-Second Amendment stance often run counter to the Democratic Party platform. This past session, Priola voted against the bill that Democratic Governor Jared Polis signed in April that put Colorado's existing abortion access into state law. 10 years ago, Priola sponsored a bill to do away with concealed carry permits. When I asked if the Democratic Party warmly welcomes that Kevin Priola, I was told, "We understand we will not agree on every issue, but we are a big tent party that works to uplift all Coloradans." Immediately after announcing his party switch, several Republicans brought up the idea of recalling Priola. Senate Minority Leader John Cook, who is term limited and out after this year, said in a statement, Priola's new district will likely not be happy with this announcement and may explore their options for new representation. Michael Fields, who has funded several conservative ballot issues, wrote on social media explicitly, "Kevin Priola needs to be recalled." As a Republican, Priola won his re-election in 2020 by just 1,200 votes. But because of redistricting, he now has new constituents in Brighton, Henderson, Fort Lupton, and Greeley. 47% are unaffiliated. 25% are Democrat and Republican. Recall attempts against the Democratic governor and a handful of Democratic state lawmakers have failed spectacularly in the last few years.